Hey guys, it's Nigel, and welcome to my first YouTube episode of 2026. It's the beginning of January, and the snow is starting to fill the mountains up, and we're gonna go for an adventure today. I'm gonna try to find a nice camp spot by a lake and climb up into the mountains, try not to get too stuck, and have a nice big fire. We're gonna cook some steaks tonight and some vegetables on the fire. It's gonna be great. It's just me and my pup Luca. He's a husky and he's just sitting in the back seat right now, so he's eager to get out and play in the snow. It's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna try to capture as much of the scenery as I can, and hope you enjoy this episode. There's a lake tucked away in these mountains, and it was going to be the perfect place for camp. But first, I had to break through some snow. This road, it started off pretty wide and left me quite a bit of room. But as things kept going, it got a little tighter and a little more intense for the Colorado. All right, so this is how I like to make fires. Pretty straightforward. I mean, everybody's probably got their own way to do it. I've just learned from making enough of them now that it's best to take your time in the beginning and get enough kindling and get enough small dry pieces of wood, because it just makes the starting process less agonizing. So I like to get some nice fine sticks of wood, and even though this is covered in snow and it's not the most dry wood that you can find in this forest right now, I have good expectations with it. And I've seen like all different styles on YouTube of people making fires, but I'll show you mine. So now that I've established some pieces of kindling, and I feel like I have enough there to get this fire going, one little trick that I find works in all conditions for me making fires, whether it's rain, obviously snow here today, is making just these fine little strips. And so I've been doing this for a while, and I find it works awesome. It's like the finest little kindling, and I think it's just all the little strands of wood that you can generate. You could use like a knife. I just have my axe here. It's not super sharp either, but it works. And I just like to get a nice handful of pieces like that. You can see that on the camera. And so I'll make about a handful of just little rings of wood like that, and we'll get this thing going. All right, so this year I've been spoiled and received some fire starters for Christmas, and I'm pretty stoked about that, because in the past I've been using gas to just get the fire going, especially if it's a little wet, or just getting like as much dry kindling as possible. But a little lucky this year, and see how long they last. I might keep using fire starters, or I might go back to my old way. It's easy having like lighter fluid. But okay, so I'm using a piece of bark here that I have from splitting the wood, and just so it's up off the snow. You could also use a few chunks of wood to sit it on, but this is how I do it. So get it going. It also helps if your lighter works. I'm not big on the whole striker sticks and all that stuff. I don't use that. But some people like to. Okay. Get my little pack of rings on there, and it's already starting to catch. And then I like to start by laying a little larger piece of wood right beside the fire that I've established, and then I start building a bit of a teepee. And that's pretty much it. This fire's going now. I don't like to speak too soon, because I've had them all sunburn out, but this thing's going pretty good. I found some old dead wood laying in the forest not too far from the camp here. It was laying in the snow, so not as ideal as a dead standing piece of timber, but burning pretty nice. I don't know what it is, but I just really love campfires. So if you're ever out camping with me, we're gonna be having a pretty sweet fire. But I find it's really important that in this stage of it, just like taking your time. So as much as it's fun to just throw a pile of wood on, I find it just ends up burning out. But you just take your time, slowly feed it what it needs, and then you got yourself a wicked fire. So tonight I picked up a steak, and I had some potatoes and carrots in the fridge. I also picked up some onion and garlic. I'm just gonna make some vegetables, have some veggies there on the fire, and make a steak. And I'm gonna try to do it all on the fire tonight. It's kind of fun. It's like something to do when you're out just hanging out in the woods. So I built a bit of a teepee with my kindling, and now I'm just boxing it in with some bigger chunks of wood so it can keep the heat contained in this fire. Sometimes it takes a little bit to dry out the wood and that kindling that I chopped up. It's got a little snow on it, so I like to insulate the fire a bit with some chunks of wood by just making either a bit of a log cabin or a triangle around it. And then, yeah, this thing's rolling. It's burning really good now. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Right here. Oh, there you go. Hey, hey. All right, so this is the inside of my Alu-Cab camper that I put on this Chevy Colorado. This has got a 5-foot box, and this is an all aluminum camper that sits on top of it. On the inside, I've added this National Luna NL50 fridge. It's a fridge freezer, which has been really good in the summer months because I can actually run a freezer mode on one side of it and pull out an ice cream sandwich on the trail in the summer, which is pretty sweet. In the winter, I'm just running it as a full fridge right now, and it's been really good. It's a really nice addition to the trips. And inside the Alu-Cab camper, I've built like my own version of a camper interior using just whatever skill sets I had for construction and woodworking. It's not perfect, but it works really well for what I use it for. I have a bench seat on one side, which works great. I've got a cushion on it, so it works almost like a little sofa. I can do my editing and edit photos and videos and hang out in here if I need to when the weather's not great. I can come into here if it's snowing, raining, and still have a little bit of a camper interior. On this side of me, I have a small countertop and a small sink, and that sink is plumbed into the Alu-Cab water tank that comes with the camper. The way I kitted it out, that's been really nice to have running water when you're out camping. You wash your dishes, wash your hands, and I also have a shower system, but I usually have separate water that I use for the shower. But that's been really nice. And on my other side, I have a Dickinson's propane fireplace, and that's been a really nice touch for the adventures. You get a live flame right there. It's just like having the campfire in the camper. It's a little wood stove essentially, but it runs on propane, and it's really nice. Keeps the camper warm, keeps all my gear warm and my batteries and everything that when I'm out on the road. And yeah, that's just kind of like a mini tour of the camper here. But so far, I've been really impressed with it. I've had it for a couple years now, and I've taken it all over. Been down some really rough trails, climbed many mountains, and I'm really impressed with this setup. Some campers weigh a lot, and they weigh down your rig, and they make it really hard to get into tighter locations. Here in British Columbia, we have really tight trails, and those trails get really rocky and rough, and sometimes you don't want to take your truck in there with a big giant camper, so you want something compact, and this has been really nice for me. I can still get down like four-wheeler trails, side-by-side trails, more rugged off-road trails, and have almost all the amenities of home: running water, heat, electricity. So I'm really a fan of this setup, and I like having the bed upstairs. It's nice. You can have the bed come down and still be even able to do a little bit of light stuff downstairs. So it's been really good that way too. But looking forward to putting more adventures in the camper, and I'll try to do a more detailed walkthrough of this thing down the road. But I wanted to show you guys a little bit about what goes on inside this camper. I'm inside the camper. It's nice with the heat starting to warm up a bit. So like I was saying, I'm gonna do tonight just some carrots, potatoes, onions, and I'm gonna do a steak as well. You got a T-bone steak I'm gonna cook on the fire, but I'm not a chef, so just gonna make something easy, make something healthy, and it'll fill me up after this fun day of exploring some of these back roads. Throw a little olive oil on there. Okay. That looks pretty good. Never tried doing it like this before, but I'm sure I can't wreck it. Just vegetables. Throw a little more olive oil on the top of that. And we got some cracked pepper, little garlic with sea salt. I think that's going to go really well with that. Also going to put this on the steak. I've had it on steak. It's really good. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to go throw that. Throw the vegetables on the fire and get those going, and then I'm going to get the steak on. After the steak. Excited about this one. So when I'm cooking steaks on the fire, what I like to do is I have a cast iron pan. I can pretty much cook everything on this when I'm out camping. Whether it's breakfast or dinners, I like the cast iron pan. But it's simple, easy, and always does a nice job. But again, I'm going to put some of this cracked pepper on there, the sea salt, and it's got garlic in there. I think that's going to be really good on this steak. And I like lots of seasoning, so I'm going to go heavy on it. A little bit of a winter hack that I like is winter camping, wet ones for disinfecting. Disinfecting wipes just work so good. I don't actually use my water tank in the winter months because I'm afraid it's going to freeze. We get some pretty cold days up here in BC. Sometimes minus 20 in our area. Could get colder than that. So I usually take the water out of my water tanks, and when I'm out camping, I still like to, disinfect things and keep everything sanitary. So that works really well in the winter months. All right, yeah, let's get this steak going. Now, one nice thing about cast iron is it holds its heat really well. So I'm gonna just take it off the coals and let it finish doing a light cook on this rock, and there they go. All right, my dinner is served. I'll see if you can see that in the camera there. I'll get a better zoomed in shot. So we got the steak and the potatoes, carrots, onions, and garlic. I think this is going to be a great dinner. Luca is a little jealous. He had his dinner already. All right, and to go with dinner, tonight I'm having a kombucha. It's a little treat. This is a Brew Doctor variety. I like them. They're kind of fizzy, enjoyable for camp dinners. I'm not a drinker, but kombucha will do just fine. So I'm gonna have one of these with this dinner and enjoy the fire. After enjoying that warm meal, it was nice just kicking back and sitting beside the campfire. Buddy. Come on. Hey, bud. It snowed. Yeah, it snowed. Almost. Whoa. Well, this was a pleasant surprise this morning to wake up to. Last night it was clear skies and the stars were out. And then woke up this morning to a couple inches of fresh snow. There was already fresh snow in the trees coming out here. And this just really makes it feel like a winter wonderland. And I'm loving it for taking photos. It's beautiful. It's really peaceful out here. Super quiet. There's no houses for a long ways, which is nice. Just no traffic. This was a really good place to come out to, and I'm glad that I found it last night. But I'm going to show you a bit more of this landscape and try to capture a bit of what I'm seeing here. It's a beautiful spot.
Come the morning, oh, I'll be gone. Pouring rain, oh, to hear that train. There she comes. Won't you get on? Won't you get on? Watch the trees falling leaves like the breeze won't blow on. Take a sip, I'ma pack my grip. One more trip, and I'ma move on. I'ma move on.
I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to sharing more adventures with you in the future. Thanks for watching.
Across the trail.